it's Jen. Welcome to Thursday.
Today we're going to make rock mandalas
That you can hide and you can do an amazing race with your family. So I'm going to show you how that's done. First thing though, I want to talk a little bit about geocaching. Geocaching is this amazing thing that people do all over the world. They hide these containers and then they put little messages out on the internet to show where you can go and find them. And sometimes they do even local ones in around the neighborhood. So keep your eye out for these little geocaches, little containers that contain little goodies. And you can leave your message and then leave it. So geocaching is a lot of fun. But along that line, you can make rock mandalas for your own amazing race. And this is going to be something you can use with your family. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a couple of these, and then we're going to make a treasure map. And that's going to be what you give to your family to go and do the amazing race. So let's go ahead, move into the studio, and we'll get started on your amazing race scavenger hunt rock mandalas. See you soon.
The materials for this project, you will need a smooth flat rock to start, some craft paint, a pencil, some packing tape, a marker, some paper, and some things to do the dots with. So toothpicks, forks, old pencil, dowel rods, anything with a round tip. Okay friends, let's go ahead and get started. The materials you're going to need for the rock mandalas are a pencil, a smooth rock that you can find when you're out and about with your family at the park or any place that might have these really smooth stones. So maybe like at the riverbank or maybe by the shoreline, maybe on one of your vacations you found something like this that means something to you. That would be perfect for this project. Also, you're going to have some paint. Craft paint is fine. Acrylic paint is probably better because it's a little more weatherproof, but for this project, you can use any kind of paint. I also have a couple different tools. I have a sort of a toothpick here, toothpick tool. I've got a plastic fork, which could use for dots. And I'm going to use a white pencil today so you can see my marks a little bit better, but a pencil is fine for this project. Okay, what you're going to do first is you're just going to make a bunch of lines on your rock. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do this in white so that you can kind of see the marks a little better. But I'm just going to make these sharp, crisp lines. And I'm just going to make an X. And then I'm going to make a couple extra lines so that I'm dividing it sort of like a pie piece. And then I'm going to make some hash marks. And they could just go randomly around your rock. They're just going to be guidelines for what we do next. So it doesn't have to be perfect, but you do kind of want to make these lines sort of similar. Okay. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take your pencil and you're going to find the largest dots first, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the back side of my pencil, and you can use a pencil that you don't think you're going to use anymore. This one's kind of, you see the eraser's kind of down to its base, and it's almost down to the very little nub. So I think this pencil is a good opportunity to use for this project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a color, and I think I'm going to pick a color that's different. So the green I think is a really bright color, and I'm going to use that, and I'm just going to make dots on these hash lines. And this is a nice slow activity. When you work small, you want to work slow. So when you're in the mood to paint and you feel like just hanging out and being quiet for a little bit, this is a perfect project for you. So I'm just putting these dots on these little lines that I made. These are my little guidelines. Okay. And I'm also going to take a paper towel. I'm going to take and wipe off the back of my pencil, and then I'm going to change color. So I'm going to pick another color that may want the big dots, and I think I'm going to go around the edges. So I'm just going to dot, and again I'm working really slow and steady, making sure I create a perfect dot. Just nice and slow. I like how that looks already. What do you think? All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move on to some smaller dots. So I'm going to take my toothpick tool, and I just have a sharp toothpick edge on one side and just like a wooden stump at the other. But you can use anything. Sometimes, you know, you can use a fork. You can take and pull off these plastic prongs and leave it just with one, or you can leave it at 4, and you could do 4 dots at a time. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do this really small little dots. Actually, let me make sure small little dots. And where do I want to place them? I want to place them in between the green. All my little areas that I placed before. Okay, so when you're done with one side, what you want to do is you want to write a little message on the back. So you're going to say something like, "Yay, you found me. You found me." Now, if you really get into geocaching, you're going to want to put something like a social media hashtag, but you want to ask your parents first before you do something like that. Right now, this project is really intended for you and your family to enjoy at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this over. I'm going to take some packing tape, and I'm just going to seal this message on the back. Just like so. So on the back, it says, "Yay, you found me." Next is we take a piece of paper, and you're going to go and you're going to hide these rocks in your yard, okay? And now we're going to turn it into an amazing race for your family. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw your house. You're going to give them a treasure map. So here's your house. And let's see. Okay. All right. And then you're going to draw sort of a treasure map. So let's say you place one by a tree that was over here, and you can put an X there, and you can put a line here and just say it's as many steps away. So you're going to count out your steps, and you're going to say that's 10 steps away to that. That's 10 steps. And then maybe there's a playground, and there's a swing set, right? And that's maybe 30 paces away, and it's right there on the base. And then maybe there's another tree or maybe a hedge over here, and that's maybe 10 paces away from your building. So you're going to write 10, and you can put a little X there. Okay? So however you want to do it, but make a map. Okay? And that's what you're going to give to your family, and you're going to make them race to try and find all these before everybody else does. So that's my project for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Happy Amazing Race Week. Bye.